Wow, I am doing this video on my new MacBook Pro, and I'm using the same video software to film this video. The only problem is when I stop this video capture and try to take a pause, the whole software application makes this annoying sound like it's trying to drill through my computer. It's like, So I'm going to have to take those breaks real quick. So that's why the film might look a little different. The sound may be a little bit different. I think I kind of like this because this is definitely an upgraded version of MacBook Pro. It's from 2020. And yeah, we're going to roll with the moon card reading and see how it goes. So let me know what you think. Hello everyone, it's Jenny Yetto from the Pixie Post, and I'm back with a new moon card reading for May 22nd, 2020, and it's a new moon in Gemini, so the energy is very vibrant this time around. Before we get into it, I want to thank you for stopping by my channel. If you like these kind of videos, please feel free to click like and subscribe. I would love to have you along for the journey, and it does help my channel when you do give it a like and a thumbs up. A quick disclaimer, there's a lot of background noise today. I have my sliding glass door open a little bit so Timmy can go in and out, and it's kind of a pleasant day. It's kind of cold out compared to how it's been, but it's nice to have the fresh air in. And unfortunately, my neighbors upstairs, as you all know from following me for a while, they're a little bit loud, so you might hear some stuff in the background. So anyway, I hope all of you are doing well. I want to do this new moon card reading because right now we're all at a very important time in our lives, not just with what's been going on in the world and the pandemic, but also in our individual lives. The energy is very intense as always, but even more so because we're at a point that the world is raising its own vibration. The world itself is alive. It's a live, energetic being. And everyone else on the world is being affected by that. Some are in resistance, some are not. Some are waking up more in different ways, and some are kind of going in a path of fear. It doesn't make anyone better than anyone else. It's just where everybody's at right now. But I do encourage you, if you are in the path of fear and resistance, to take a look within. Look at what is really scaring you and if it really has any merit. Because even though fear feels very real, it can cause a lot of physical symptoms, a lot of mental symptoms, and it doesn't mean that's not real to you, but fear in itself is only an illusion. So whatever power we give fear, that's what it feeds on. The less power we give it, the less attention we give it, and the more we go in our own path, in our own spirit, and our own strength, fear tends to wane. So just remember that as you're going about your day and about your life, whether you're directly affected by the pandemic or if you're indirectly affected. I think we can all agree we're all affected in some way, but it's how we are reactive or proactive with it and whether we give that more power. It's time for us to take our power back. And this reading is going to get a little more into that because this reading is about new beginnings, as the new moon readings always are. And it's also about how we go about those new beginnings. So, as usual, I'm going to use my Moonology card deck by Yasmin Boland. I have been looking at some new decks to use for these readings. The last full moon, I really did not feel a connection with the cards. And it's nothing that happened, it's nothing that the cards did or that I did. It was just more of a feeling. I have to feel that connection in order to do a fair reading. I'm very transparent about that stuff. So that's why the video last time was a little different. So this time, I'm feeling the vibe. I feel like the universe wants to speak some messages. So we're going to go with it. And I really hope you get something from it. Remember, not everything that I read in these cards may apply to you. That is certainly okay. Just take whatever resonates with you and discard the rest. So, as usual, I'm going to do a 3-card draw and shuffle the cards. I already cleared them a little while ago. You can clear the cards in many ways. You can knock on top of the deck. You can put it over a candle flame. You can even run it through some incense. I've seen people do all different things. It's whatever works for you. Don't do something that you see just because they do it. Every spiritual person has their own way of doing things and whatever resonates for them. I used to take on certain aspects of other readers or other, for lack of a better word, spiritual people that I follow on YouTube. And some of it comes naturally, but some really didn't. So I knew I had to switch it up and be my authentic self. And I really, really encourage you to be your authentic self. Don't worry about following other people. Don't even worry. Just go with what works for you. Go with the flow. And if it feels right, it's helping people and it's helping your heart space, then you know you're on the right path. So, okay, enough rambling. So, Timmy is actually sleeping on my couch right now, so I don't think we're going to have any Timmy antics. And for those of you who don't know who Timmy is, that's my calico cat. You'll see him in some other videos if you take a look at my channel. He's kind of the mascot of the Pixie Post. He's a lover and a fighter. Let's say that. So, all right, let's get into it. So, again, it's going to be a 3-card draw, and we'll get the messages from that. Wow. This time is almost in a neat little package with a ribbon around it, and you'll see what I mean. Okay. The first one is emotions are running high, super moon. And this card really is a good one for this cycle. Emotions are running high right now. We've all been quarantined for quite some time, and a lot of us are seeing better weather. We're seeing slightly lessened restrictions in our states or in our countries, depending on where we are, and some more than others, but a lot of us are seeing at least a little bit loosening of control. And it really, really is getting a fire lit in a lot of us. And we express that in our emotions because we want to get out. We want to get back to normal, even though I'm going to say it's not going to be the normal that it was. It's going to be a new beginning. I'm really not liking the term new normal because a lot of people associate that with a negative energy. And granted, I'm not discounting any sad things that happen, any deaths or any illness or any loss of freedoms. Believe me, I'm not discounting any of that. But it's up to us to go forward and to make something positive out of it. A lot of us were in stuck energy. So emotions are running high there as well, both on the negative aspect and positive aspect. So now is the time for us to take back our power, control our destiny, basically, and use those emotions constructively. What I'm being told is that it's time to stop tearing each other down. It's time to stop discrediting people that are having a tougher time than maybe we are. We're all in our own path right now. Granted, I encourage people to step out of fear, step out of their comfort zones. But if they're at a certain point in their path right now that they're really trying to work on that, but they're just not there yet, I'm not going to disrespect them and say, oh, well, there's something wrong with you. That's not the case. Basically, they're at a point where they're at right now, and they may need more time. They may have different circumstances that you're not going through yourself. And we all have a story. We all have aspects of our lives that we don't show to others. So it's really important to cultivate compassion and be there in understanding and giving a good example in the actions that we take. Be proactive. I've seen a lot of hatred and a lot of negativity and a lot of bashing, especially the past few weeks, because people have been cooped up so much, so they kind of lash out. It's almost like caging a tiger. Of course, the tiger is going to lash out after a while, after being controlled and manipulated for so long. And I'm not saying we're all manipulated, but it gives you an idea. And while it's understandable, it doesn't give us the right to act that way. There are times to feel our emotions. We should process those feelings. We should be looking within and seeing what the root of those feelings are and work through them. But somebody else may be having a tougher time right now, so it's up to us to help uplift one another and help one another, even if it's just lending an ear, whatever way you can, because you never know what simple little positive action you can do for someone else might make their whole world at that time and propel them in a more positive path. So just remember that your emotions are valid. Yes, you have a right to feel how you feel, but it's what you do with them. So just remember that, especially when you feel like you might lash out at somebody. Take a step back, look within, take a breath, journal it, take a walk, try to help someone even if you're struggling. All those things will make you feel better. Even take a nap. I've done that a few times and I woke up feeling a little bit better. Do the positive actions that you can, and while being true to yourself, but also being supportive of others. So the second one, which kind of goes in line with this, adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. Now is the time to change things up. Before the pandemic, a lot of us were in jobs that we didn't like. A lot of us were leading lives that we weren't happy with. A lot of us were stuck in relationships that we didn't either cultivate or were unhappy with. Now is the time to change your destiny, to be true with what you want in your life. Because for the next 6 months, every positive action that we take is going to affect the energy vibration in this world. Every action you take, whether it's negative or positive, sends a ripple effect in the world. And you may not see it, you may not feel it, but it will touch the life of someone else. And it will keep that ripple effect going. So now adjustments are required as far as if you're unhappy with certain things in your life, you have the power to change that. And this is not a time for saying, oh, well, just go back to the way I was. Things are, they may not be the same, but I'll just go back to the same old tired life and just kind of lollygag along. This is a time to take your power back and change things. Do the things you've been putting off. Cultivate those relationships or start those relationships that you've been wanting to. Tell the people that you've been meaning to tell that you love them, that you care about them, and that you really appreciate them. Show them that. Start that new job. Quit that old job. Start that new hobby. Travel when we can, of course. Obviously, there's certain things we have to wait on. But start dreaming about that vacation you're going to take. Start making plans. Start putting yourself first in an unselfish way. Because if you don't take care of yourself and fill your own tank, you cannot help everybody else. You cannot bring your best self forward. So now is the time before it's too late. And I'm not trying to instill fear in anyone, but the next 6 months is going to be very, very important. Because the world is changing, this timeline is changing, and to put your energy on the highest frequency possible will optimize the timeline you end up on. Because it's like a radio. When you're trying to find a radio station and you hear all that warbly sound because you're not on the right frequency, you're only going to perceive what that frequency picks up. But if you end up finding that radio station you're looking for and it connects with so many different things, you'll perceive all the higher frequencies in that. And I hope that makes sense. It's a little hard to explain, but if it makes sense to you, comment below. I would love to hear your response. Or give me your feedback. Give me your interpretation of that. But the higher our frequency is, the better things will bring to the world. So adjustments are required. It's not the time to be afraid anymore. It's the time to step out on your truth and express who you are, not this avatar, not your reputation of how people expect you to be. Be you. Be yourself, your true inner self, and bring that light to the world, because the world definitely needs your light. It needs all of our light. And the last one, but not least, is conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. Now, this is a very positive card because a lot of us are seeking answers. We're questioning things way more than we ever have before. A lot of us are getting out of that herd mentality. We're questioning things. We're doing our own research, which I encourage, because all these messages that are meant for whoever's listening to this or watching this, they're important, but it's also important for you to do your own research. Empower yourself, empower others. But conclusions are within reach. You may be wondering, okay, when am I going to manifest or bring life to some dream goals I have? Well, you do need to take action, because things don't just fall on your lap. The universe has your back. It's rooting for you, but does expect you to put in the work. Because no one is going to come out of the sky or out of another timeline and say, hey, look, here you go, and just hand you everything on a silver platter. Life doesn't work that way. I don't believe any timeline probably works that way. It's whatever you put into it, the universe will give you back. So now is the time to be proactive, positive, bring life to your dream goals and your inner self. And those conclusions will come into light. They will come to you. The blessings will come in, and your dreams will start coming true. It may not happen overnight. So it's definitely important to be vigilant and to hold steady and be persistent in your dreams in a positive way. I always stress that, in a positive light. But if you keep working at it and keep it in your heart without forcing the issue, it will come to you. There's a balance a lot of us, me included, need to work on, because sometimes we want something so much, so we do come from a place of lack, a place of resistance, and we're so intent on making something happen that the resistant energy we end up putting out repels it. It pushes the actual goal away. So when we make a statement to the universe, whether it's in words or in writing, or just even in meditation, like your thoughts, and leave it to the universe or God or whatever is comfortable for you, and let it go and go on with your life. Work for your goals. Just be the best person you can be each day. It will come to you. I promise, because I'm starting to see that myself in my own life. And sometimes it'll be in small ways. Sometimes it'll be in the forms that you will not expect. So another thing is to let go of what you think it should look like. Sometimes it can come in an even better form. So conclusions are within reach. You just have to have faith and believe. And believe in yourself and believe that you are worthy of it, because you are. You would not be here if you weren't here for a good reason. We all have a mission, whether small or big. We all have a purpose. So hold on to that. Even when things are tough, you are valuable and you are here for a reason. But it's up to you to take back your power and make that happen. So that is the card reading for this time. I hope you guys really liked it. It was kind of short and sweet. Like I said, it was all in a neat little package with a red ribbon tied around it. But please do bear in mind that this new moon in Gemini is very, very important. 2020 has been a very challenging year. It's been a challenging start to the decade. But we can bring it to an optimal timeline where things will come to light. Old systems are crumbling. Old negative energy is being dispelled. It's up to us to bring that light to the world by working on ourselves continually and making ourselves a better version each day. So, and I believe in you, and I know you can do it. And if you ever feel that you can't, talk to someone. Talk to someone. Surround yourself with people who encourage you, who lift you up. And even if you don't have anybody in your life right now, know that you are loved. I love you. And you can do anything you put your mind to, but you have to believe in yourself. And you have to put in the work. So anyway, that's the new moon card reading. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, please click like and subscribe if you want to follow me on this channel. I'll have a couple more videos coming out over the weekend and another Mindful Monday on Monday, no doubt. And until the next time, I love you all. And to know thyself is to know thy truth. Namaste.